Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We actually took a little bit of a hiatus. We had some graduations and a vacation to go to, so we haven't been posting as normally as we would like to. But hopefully going forward, we'll get back to our 3 videos a week. Before we get into the video today, I would like to ask you all to drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of when the next video drops. It helps out a lot if you can drop a subscription. It just helps out the algorithm so much. Same thing with the like. So in the last video, we were able to get to the end of the season, and you can see here the playoff bracket. You have the Houston and Boston got the first round buys in the AL, and then the Dodgers and Phillies got the buys in the NL, and then Texas, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, and Cleveland all wrap up the AL, and then the Cubs, Cincinnati Reds, the Cardinals, and then the Padres are over in the NL. So we're gonna go ahead and simulate to the offseason. We'll take a little bit of a look. We'll just go ahead and simulate like 2 weeks and look back through it. You can see here the Dodgers and the Phillies move on to the finals, the championship series, and Houston and Boston do. So top seeds move on, the 1 and 2 seeds. We'll see how it goes a little bit further down the road. And the Phillies had to feed the Red Sox in the World Series. So both 2 seeds move on and they move on to the championship. Ooh, the Dodgers took the Phillies to 7 games, and then the Phillies won in 6. So that's really interesting. I think, can I look back? Let's see. World Series MVP, yeah. The Phillies are back-to-back World Series champions, man. Bryce Harper was MVP last year. Trey Turner's the MVP this year. That is kind of crazy. And the postseason MVP for the American League is... Ooh, I don't know how to pronounce that. Rafaela. He can play everywhere. Jeez Louise, he's only 75 overall. What were his stats? Not too crazy. Edwin Sosa was the postseason MVP for the Phillies. That is the postseason. So we're going to head and simulate to the offseason. And our contract with our farm director has ended. We'll need to re-sign him. And we'll have 5 days to negotiate contracts with our qualifying players. As Alex Cobb, a pitcher, he was in the minors? No, he was in the majors. We signed him as a relief pitcher just because we needed somebody. He is retired, so that's not that big of a loss. So that is good. Jackie Bradley Jr. retires as well. Mike Clevenger. Some pretty decent names. Justin Verlander finally takes his bow and leaves the MLB. He's one of the best pitchers in all of history. Steven Strasburg also finally takes a retirement. I'm surprised it took him so long. Merrill Kelly from the Diamondbacks. Yu Darvish as well retires. Interesting there. He's only, oh dang, he is 39. I didn't realize he was so old. He looks extremely young for being 39 years old. I guess right now he's what, 37-ish. I didn't realize he's been in the league that long. So there is your retirees for this year. And then the 2025 inductees. Justin Verlander, he has played for 20 years. He has 272 wins, 152 losses. He has 1 save actually, which is funny. 3,500 innings, 3,500 strikeouts, and is an ERA of 3.22. Max Scherzer also is retiring this year. I think he was in the free agent, so we didn't go down that far. But he's played 17 years. Matt's a little hard. 214 wins, 108 losses, and no saves. 2,800 innings, 3,300 strikeouts. So he was an absolute beast up there in terms of strikeouts. And then 3.15 ERA. Super cool. And my cat just took off his collar and was carrying around. I hate him. Not really. Love my cat. But those are the 2025 inductees. That's super awesome to see. We didn't have any last year. I'm not sure if that's like a glitch or if it just doesn't produce Hall of Fame players the first season. All right. So, Yoan Moncada, we had a trade earlier in the season for him. It was the Jesus Luzardo trade, but we switched it out for our second baseman, Nicky Lopez. I do believe. This year he has 209. He is a switch hitter. He's 75 overall. He's only 30. I wouldn't hate in extending him, but he's just not that good. Max Stassi, whatever you want to say, and Luis Garcia. We're probably not going to bring back Luis Garcia. He's 39 years old. Stassi is 35. It's not really good. Has regressed a lot, basically everything, except for a few stats. So we're not going to bring him back. The only one we need to look at is our third baseman. Honestly, I'm not going to sign him yet. Let's go ahead and sign a farm director and see who we can get. Let's look. I did make the rule that we were going to keep a B average. So we can have a farm director that is an A since we have all Bs, and our third base coach or first base coach is a C. Our farm director can be an A. I mean, Dino Abel almost looks super. His face looks so realistic. Like, that is actually insane. That's like the most realistic face I've seen. That's crazy. But I mean, right out the gate, 3 power, drag bang, stamina's not bad, and then 3 speed. I love the speed. We do need some speedsters. That's one of the guys I want to pick up this offseason is a speedster, as well as another pitcher. Power clutch, not really piquing my fancy here on any of these. He might have been the best. I mean, +1s all around for an A is not great. Same thing there. I might go back to the top with Dino. I mean, he was a plus everything. Even Bunning's not too great, but I mean, at least he's a plus and not a minus. And all these guys are +1. I think Dino Abel is going to be our guy for our farm director. He's 59 years old. Yeah, +3 power, +3 draw money is not that big a deal, but +1 stamina is nice, and +3 speed is great. Doesn't have any pennants. His MLB manager history is a 0-0. Not really been a manager, but I think we're going to sign him to 4 years and try to get him a little bit under what he's asking for 1.5 million. So we put an offer. It's not his favorite offer. Maybe we need to. I'm gonna redo that because he did not like that offer. So we are gonna sign him for 3 years though, or 4 years, for a little bit above what he's asking. Yeah, he likes that one a lot better. We could rebrand our team. I'm not going to. Would be hilarious. I would love to be able to see the free agents. Can you see that before going into free agency? I guess not, because people need to be able to sign their players. I don't think we're going to sign Yoan Moncada. I think we're going to go ahead and simulate to free agency 1. Oh, as Dino Abel does not take our offer. That stinks. He was actually really good. Probably should have put in a better offer, but it is what it is, and we'll have to look elsewhere for our manager. So after looking through pretty much near all of the offerees, I have realized that we should have offered Dino a heck of a lot more money. We're going to try to offer Vance Wilson. He's currently looking at the Orioles as the manager, so hopefully we can sneak him away with a 5.2 4-year offer. And he is liking that one for sure, so hopefully he's able to come to us. And he has accepted the Mariners offer instead. That stinks a lot. So we're 0 for 2 so far on our farm directors, and that is gonna really suck. As we're gonna, oh my goodness, the Diamondbacks are offering him $20 million over 4 years. We're gonna make him an offer anyways. Oh man, I'm gonna put it up to 6.5 and see where that takes us. Holy crap! Hopefully that'll get us. And he has accepted the farm director role at the White Sox and passes up on $20 million over 4 years. So we are finally in free agency. We'll probably do a lot of this behind the scenes, but we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the free agents on the market right now. So you have Vladdy, basically the 2 top guys at Toronto are on the books right now. We're on the market. Wouldn't hate to get Bo Bichette, but again, we are trying to get our shortstop, Colson Montgomery, up to snuff. We need a third baseman, so we can look there at all of the options we have. Max Muncy. So not a lot of guys. Maybe we should have re-signed Yoan Moncada. We still can. We still can offer him, but not the end of the world if we don't get him. So Max Muncy's 35. Wouldn't be terrible to rent him out for a year or two. Eugenio Suarez, 34. A lot of these guys are pretty old. Nick Senzel's not too old. I'm looking at his stats last year, not great, but the year before wasn't too terrible. And he can play a lot of positions, so that might be something we look at. But I would love to get somebody that was really good, top market free agent. But it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that. Something interesting here, Jacob Gonzalez is not on our 40-man. And he is Rule 5 draft eligible. So we are going to need to move him up to the 40-man, as we do have an open position or two. So we're going to go ahead and add him. Because if we lose him, I would be so upset. He's going to hopefully be our second baseman of the future. He's 23, so he is getting a little old. But he is behind our all-star second baseman, Gleyber Torres. So we'll have to see how that pans out. And I don't think I'm going to put anybody else on it for now. Jared Kelly wouldn't be a bad pitcher to put on there. But for now, we're going to hold off, since we don't really need. We have a ton of pitchers, so if we lose Jared Kelly, it's not the end of the world. We have 11 pitchers on this, so I think we're fine. We're mightily okay. We do have a couple guys that we need to sign. Jesus Luzardo, Joe Barlow, Jason Foley, Eric Feedy, Tuki Toussaint, and then Danny Mendick. So we're not going to probably worry about these last two guys. They're kind of old. Not really too worried about that. Feedy is going to be on the fence. Probably not going to sign him. Maybe if we want some depth. Going to bring back Foley for sure. Barlow and Jesus Luzardo. So we offered Barlow and Foley arbitration deals. Hopefully the arbitration panel decides with us. But we are going to offer an extension to Jesus Luzardo. He's only 28 years old. He's a lefty pitcher. Had a pretty decent season. 4.21 ERA is not great, but he didn't have a great year to start off. And he kind of picked it up towards the end of the year. So I love seeing that. Not really too upset about it. We're going to give him a player option. I think we're going to try to extend him into his age 36 year season. And we're going to try to offer him somewhere around 135. Yeah, 135 million for 8 years. Not sure what that breaks down to per year, but you all can do the math outside of here. We're going to offer him that contract. Hopefully he accepts it. I mean, it looks pretty good on paper. And I would love to bring back Luzardo. And then we got to go through this whole onslaught of signing players. But I'll do this off camera, and I'll get back to you all here shortly. So we've offered everybody that we want to offer. I think we actually offered everybody at least something. We kind of limited the years. Sometimes it'll offer somebody like, $750,000 like for 5 years for some reason. I don't know why it does that, but so we did that. But we brought everybody down to 1 year because most of them are just renewable. So with that, we could look at some trade talks. That wouldn't be awful, but we're not going to yet. So a few things we need. We need a speedster. We need a third baseman, and we need some more. We need a starting pitcher and hopefully a little bit of a relief help. Relief is definitely one thing we need. I think we only had 14 out of 15 spots filled last year, so we definitely need some help there. So we do have a few starting pitchers to choose from here. We have Zach Gallen, Dylan Cease. We have Zach Gallen, who's been really, really good. He's not getting offered much from the Diamondbacks, so we probably could sneak in and take him. Dylan Cease, who has been a dominant force. 186 strikeouts last year. Not bad. Looking at Zach Allen, 3.18 ERA, 3.55. Michael King, 3.74. All these guys, 30 years old. Brandon Woodruff is a little older, 33. Had a decent year last year. Must have been hurt previous 2 years, maybe. Didn't get a lot of pitching. Nestor Cortez Jr., Zach Eflin, Marcus Stroman, and Aaron Savale, Nathan Eovaldi, Ranger Suarez, who's actually having an amazing year in our, real life. He's killing it. Clayton Kershaw. We could pick up Clayton in his 17th year of service. Probably not going to do that. We'll stick to the top guys. So I've said time and time again is I don't want to pass up Garrett Crochet as our ace, right? He's been our dominant guy in the lineup, and I don't really want to pass him up. But with that being said, I wouldn't hate it either. He's good. He's great even. He's 26. He's a little old. Had a good few years for us so far, but we might need to bring in some firepower to make it to the World Series. I thought we did good last year. I thought we brought in the pieces we needed, and we were, we went 500, third in the division. Weren't able to make it. We were only like 3 or 4 games off the wild card, so really, really close. So we do need some more firepower in our rotation. And Zach Gallen's 91 overall. He is 30. He doesn't throw too terribly hard, but he has a 3.18 ERA last year, a 1.72 on strikeouts, went 220 innings, 16-7 wins and losses. But also Dylan Cease, also really good. These two guys I'm kind of back and forth between. If I pick Dylan Cease, I could make the argument that I put him as my number 2 still and keep Crochet as our ace. But Zach Gallen, if we bring Zach Gallen in, I don't think we can really make the argument that he needs to be the second fiddle to Crochet. He's also regressing a little bit, whereas Cease is improving. We both have 6 years of starts. They're both 6'2". Interesting. Gallen definitely looks taller. They're kind of doing Cease dirty here. I don't know. It's an interesting take, for sure. And I think we're gonna go with Cease. I mean, his stuff, 4-seam, slider, knuckle curve, circle change, whereas Gallen's 4-seam, knuckle curve, circle change, cutter, slider. Not a terrible mix. Pretty much the same, except for that Gallen has one more option in the cutter. But I like Dylan Cease. I like what he provides. He had a terrible first year at San Diego. Whew. 6.19. That kind of worries me. He got blew up one year, whereas Gallen has been just an image of consistency through his career. You also have Michael King. Could look to pick him up. Probably not going to, because I think we need that firepower up at the top of the rotation. I keep saying firepower, but honestly, we need it. This is interesting for sure. Cease just looks like he has better stats. Hits per 9, K per 9, walk per 9, or hits per 9 and K per 9 is not as good. Clutch isn't as good. But if you're looking at specifically like break, control, and velocity, I mean, he pretty much has. I'm looking at Gallen and Cease. I don't know, man. I think I'm taking Dylan Cease. So I'm gonna offer Dylan Cease. He is 30. I'm gonna offer him a 6-year deal for $100 million. I think that's good. 16.7 million a year. Not gonna put him as our ace. He wants to be our ace. We'll have him. Oh man, I can't have 2 aces though. I don't want to make Crochet upset, but at the same time, he's gonna be our ace. He's gonna be our ace. $100 million, and that is how the cookie crumbles. So that is our first offer of this offseason. I think it'll be a huge offer for us. Can Bichette? No, he cannot play. Can't play third base. Jeez Louise. Come on, Bichette. What are you doing? Can Naylor? No. I need a third baseman. I think I might have screwed myself. Luis Ariz, he can play. People say he's like a terrible fielder in real life, but he looks like on the video game, he looks like he's fine. Tim Anderson is 67 overall. Jeez Louise. That fall off needs to be studied for sure. So I think our plan here is we're going to bring in Nick Senzel, but we're going to rent him for 2 years. We'll see how it goes. We're going to offer him a 2-year deal for 9.5. He's a little bit of an upgrade over Yon Moncada. And we'll see from there. I'm gonna enter this, and then I'm gonna go probably look at the trade screen and see if we can get a better deal for a trade, and then I might take this back. But for right now, we're gonna go Nick Senzel, 2 years, 9.5. We are gonna have him as our everyday, because he's gonna need to be our everyday, so we can get a little bit of a freebie there. As we're gonna offer him $9 million for 2 years, actually. I think it's not a bad deal. 2 years, he's 30 years old. I don't think he's gonna be great. He has a 2.23 average, but I think renting him will probably be our best option. Give us a little bit more flexibility down the line. If we don't make it this year, maybe we can move him next year or this year at the deadline and reevaluate. So we're going to offer him that, and I'll get back to you in a minute after we look at some trades and see if we can improve on that front. So I've decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to offer Bo Bichette a contract. So I thought about it. I don't want Colson Montgomery to get overlooked, but right now third base is open. Bo Bichette cannot play third base, but Bo Bichette can play shortstop, and Colson Montgomery can play third base. It's his only secondary position. He's an all right fielder, and I think that's what we're gonna do. I looked at a bunch of trades, and honestly, we could have got a lot of good guys like Brian Hayes. He's like 93 overall. They were gonna give him us for a bag of chips and peanuts. Like, it's insane what the AI. They need to fix the trading thing. Maybe during the offseason, it's kind of funky. But yeah, they were gonna give it for like two prospects that were B overalls that were like 2 years older than him, and it was just like that doesn't make any sense. So we're not gonna go that route. Felt it was kind of cheese, but it's not cheese to sign a free agent. So what we're gonna do is sign Bo Bichette. I think we're gonna go 7 years. His 35-year-old season. He's looking for 22.8. We're gonna offer him 23.5. I think that'll do. So put 165, 23.6, $165 million to Bo Bichette. 23.6, probably should offer him more, but I mean, that piques his interest. Actually, we'll offer him 168, make it a little bit more realistic, probably. 24 million a year over 7 years. I think that's what we're going to run with. So we're going to submit that offer, and we are leading that. So I don't know how that's going to screw with us, though, on the contracts below him. Let's see something. Let's go back to that 7 years, look at 165, see if we backload it and see if it changes anything. Um, Not much, but we'll see. We'll see. We're going to simulate a couple days. Not the free agency, too. Going to simulate like a week. As Leody Taveras is traded to the Astros for Chas McCormick and Hunter Brown. Not a bad little swap. Seems semi-realistic. And the White Sox signed Dylan Cease to a 6-year, $100 million deal. And he will be our ace. Well, I don't know. Again, I don't know if I'm going to decide if he's going to be the ace or if he's going to be in the 2 spot. But we are happy with that. We have Dylan Cease in our back pocket as one of our top pitchers. Looking at that, he is our second best player. And I think we have a really, really good chance to really do some stuff this year. That improved our pitching from 17th to 9th. So, I mean, can't really be too upset. Can't be too upset at that. So looking at our 40-man, I think we're good with our 40-man for now. I don't think we really care. Oh, we do have one more extra person on there. One too many people. I'm not sure how that happened. We're just going to take the worst player off the list. It looks like Tim Hill, honestly. And we will remove Tim Hill from the 40-man. And he will be pushed. I don't know where he went. He went to waivers. He will be on waivers. And we also got to change the AA team. And we're just going to move. We'll move Siva up to AAA just so we can even it out. That's Class A. I'm stupid. Move him back down to Class A. Go over one more. We'll move Calvin for now, just so we can even it out. And I think we're like where we're at. We have Bo Bichette for $23 million a year. We have an available budget of $29 million. Our pending offers are $27. I mean, I thought about getting a first baseman, but I don't think Vladimir Guerrero really is what we want. So we went ahead with Bo Bichette. I think that works out better for us. And Kyle Tucker will sign with the Orioles. Interesting stuff. They got a good little team for sure. As Michael King, one of the guys we looked at for pitcher, signs with the Kansas City Royals. And Bo Bichette comes to Chicago, a 28-year-old shortstop, 93 overall. He batted almost 300 last year. Hit 39 homers, 109 RBIs, had 18 steals. And I'm super, super excited about what he can bring to the team. So we will have to go in and revisit the 40-man. And we'll have to look at that right quick. Jake Woodford, 29-year-old. He's in Double-A. Thought about, I mean, he's not gonna be. I'm gonna remove him. He's old. We'll put him to waivers, and we will have a full 40-man roster. And it seems like we are doing very, very well for ourselves, I believe. And I don't think we're gonna bring these guys back. Brandon Shoemaker, not really interested in bringing him back. I mean, he's a very he can only play shortstop. So I mean, not really looking there. Jake Edgar again, not looking good, and Corey Lee's getting old. So those guys I'm not really too worried about. But we will go in and change Colson Montgomery to third base. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I forgot we offered Nick Senzel. Brick. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what we're going to do with Nick Senzel. I'm going to see if I can try to trade him real quick. Never mind. Can't do that. But anyways, we've improved our team immensely. I mean, shortstop's looking great. Third base is looking all right. First base looking okay. Right field is where we're kind of lacking. But I don't think we're really going to make any more moves this offseason. We are going to go look and see if we can get a relief pitcher or two. Just to really bolster up that bullpen. Just a little bit. Matt Barnes looks like he's the only guy that's kind of really improving. So I'll go ahead and give him a 2-year, $3.5 million. I don't mind that at all. We'll need to sign a couple more relievers. Carl Edwards Jr. 3.33 just to bring him in, and then possibly one more guy. Well, is he a righty? Probably bring in a lefty. Ooh, Aroldis Chapman. He's been playing for 14 years. That's actually insane. I remember when he debuted for the Reds back in the day. That was kind of crazy. I think we're going to go just up top. We're going to go with Taylor Rogers. See if we can get him for cheap. Give him a player option. Bump him up. He's going to be 38 probably when we're done with him. But I like what we see. And the Brewers have claimed Jake Woodford, the starting pitcher that we got rid of. I'm not too beat up about that. So we signed both those guys. Who did we not sign? Taylor Rogers is the only guy we haven't signed yet. So we'll see if he signs in the next few days. And Brandon Woodruff, starting pitcher, I think for the Brewers. Maybe I'm tripping, but he goes to the Pirates on a 3-year deal. As Taylor Rogers goes to the Dodgers for only a 1-year deal. And we will stop simulating as we need to get a relief pitcher. And we're going to offer Matt more by the looks of it. 13 years of experience, a lefty though. It's really what we want. Give him 1 year, $2 million deal. If he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it. But I'm trying to keep things low as a game-changing deal as the Brewers trade Willie Adames to the Braves for Orlando Arcia and AJ Smith-Solver. I think so you pronounce that. That's a really good move for the Braves as they get a shortstop. And they're even looking even better than they were as the Padres sign Ryan Helsley, a closing pitcher, 31, 89 overall. Ooh, and another blockbuster trade, Rafael Devers. He was one of the guys we looked at. We could have got him for pennies as well. Maybe we should have. Maybe the Red Sox are tanking, looking for that #1 overall pick next year. As he goes to the Kansas City Royals, an in-division rival, which is not very good for us, for Maikel Garcia and Gavin Cross. So we will be seeing him a fair few times this year, and I am not thrilled about that whatsoever. We're going to sim to the Rule 5 draft. We're going to go to the draft lottery first, as we have a 0.5% chance of getting the #1 overall pick. We were the 16th best team. Or, well, yeah, no. 14th best team, 16th worst team, I guess is how you would put that. Team in baseball last year, we went 500. How many teams are there that can make it to the postseason? 6, 12. So we were only a few spots out of the playoffs last year, which is really, really good for us, especially since last year We were what, 61 and 101. So 20 game improvement is very, very good for us in 1 year. And we will stay at 16th, but there's some moving up at top. The Athletics get the first #1 overall pick. Rockies move up a spot. Tigers move up 2. Marlins fall 2 spots. Nationals up 1 and Brewers down 2. And then everybody else remains the same. Even the Yankees get the #9 pick. The 73 and 89 overall record. And the Orioles, both of those guys in the AL East did not have a good year, unfortunately for them. But the Red Sox that did make the World Series have traded away their best player in Rafael Devers. So that is interesting to see. We will keep it pushing as we go to the Rule 5 draft here. Jared Kelly, he was on our team. We did not get a Rule 5 pick, and that is the end of that. Rule 5 draft's an interesting concept. As Vladdy goes to the Twins. Oh no, another in-division rival signs a big name. One of the best players in the league, and only 27 years old. We could have tried to sign him, but I like who we have over at first base. He's done pretty good for us, and I felt like we needed a third baseman more. As Nolan Arenado, another guy we looked at for a trade, is traded to the Mets for literally nothing. Wow. Okay. Mac Vassell, starting pitcher, 26 years old, 71 overall, and Ryan Clifford, a 22-year-old left fielder, only 69 overall. Interesting stuff going around the league for sure, as Josh Naylor signs a 4-year deal for around $35 million. He is going to Tampa Bay. Lane Thomas going to the Brewers, 5-year, $38.5 million. He's 30 years old, 86 overall, so not too bad. And Tommy Edman to the Diamondbacks for a 5-year, $58 million deal. As we are hitting arbitration now. As arbitration signs with Barlow and signs with Foley. We do not have very much luck in arbitration, but it is what it is. That was always an outcome that could have happened, but we did it anyways. We could have signed him probably for a little bit less than that, but it is what it is. As the offseason has come to a conclusion, we're going to simulate through spring training as well. We're going to auto-fix lineups. I don't want to do that. I didn't know you could play moments in the offseason. That's kind of interesting. We're going to simulate to the regular season, and we will review stuff here. So we'll just go over quickly who we got. So the biggest signing of the offseason for us was Bo Bichette. He's our best player now, coming in at shortstop. I'm super excited to see what he can produce for us. Our second signing of the offseason was Dylan Cease, our new ace. Again, we'll have to decide if he's going to be our ace or if Garrett Crochet is going to keep that mantle and Dylan Cease is going to move to that #2 spot. Another guy we signed. Oh, where's he at? Nick Senzel. A mistake on my part. I might just use him as a lefty bat only. He's not very good with righties anyways. His fielding is not great either. So I'll probably keep Colson Montgomery in his third base. Also, if we move to third base, maybe his overall improves, but we'll see. We'll showcase that in the next video. But he was our third signing, and then we signed a couple relief pitchers, and Matt Moore. Matt Barnes? I think we signed Matt Barnes last year. Yeah, we signed Matt Barnes last year. And then Uno Mas. We signed Carl Edwards Jr. as another relief pitcher. We did this just to give ourselves depth. We didn't have enough relief pitchers last year, so I definitely wanted to give us some guys there. So we're going to reorganize all that stuff, and we'll see you on the next video. So with that, that's the end of the video today, guys. It was a really quick one, I know, but I just want to get through the offseason pretty quick so we can go ahead and get into next season, our third season so far. If you all wouldn't mind leaving a like on this video, it's a lot of work putting this in. I didn't realize how much work it was making YouTube videos, but even the not so great videos I produce myself, it takes a lot of time, so it'd be really beneficial for me and the channel if you all wouldn't mind leaving a like and hitting that subscription button. But let me know in the comments what you all think we can improve on, who you all liked in the edition and stuff like that, So with that, that'll do it for us today, and I appreciate you all tuning in, and I will see you all in the next one.